go to like the projects and we would see the young kids out there. So we told them that, there's the end of the year EOG grade test was coming up, right? And we told them, said, we're gonna come to y'all school and we're gonna motivate y'all before the test, right? So that Monday, we talked to the principal and they allowed us to greet the kids when they got off the school bus to
Mhm.
motivate them for the EOG test. And it was there's like three kids from the projects. When they saw us, I wish you could have saw their face. He was like, "Oh, you really came. You really cared." Like he was like, "Y'all really came out here. Y'all said y'all was gonna come. Y'all really done it." And just to see that kid face where a man telling them that they're gonna do something and they actually done it.
Welcome back to Everything is Everything with your host, Calvin Baldwin. And I'm Calvin Baldwin. And today we have a magnificent guest with us. We have a guest that we've been waiting for. He's spectacular. He was born in Paterson, New Jersey. He's a military veteran. He's a nonprofit leader and president. He's a public speaker. He's a philanthropist. He's a teacher. He's a motivator. He has a strong social media presence. He's an educator and a collaborator and an advocate for those who are underprivileged. He's a volunteer and a true problem solver. He's a visionary. He's resilient. He's empathetic. He's a community activist, and he's a teacher of the Digital Real Estate Academy. He's the owner of the Age of Information, and he's the owner of Anointed Hands and president of the nonprofit NCRBGZ. Without further ado, I'd like to recognize and introduce Stewart Fields. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, brother. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's a pleasure to be here in the land of the living, man.
Yes,
A lot of our ancestors ain't here no more, so we glad to be here.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I usually open up with fun facts, but this interview is so action packed. We got to get straight to it. And so you have been fighting for community rights and civil rights ever since 2007.
Yes,
Is that
sir. Actually, actually, it's been longer than that.
okay?
My mom said I came out of the womb fighting. So I always been the type that if I see a problem, especially us as toward my people, black people, I always, wanted to fix the problem or find out how I can become help. How can I help to make our lives better collectively? You know, even as a young boy in church, man, I remember as a little kid, I never forget this, man. We was in Bible study, man, and my aunt was the pastor at the time, and we was going over Genesis, and we was reading about Cain and Abel, how Cain killed his brother Abel, and he was made to be servants of all servants. So my
Mhm.
aunt done some research, and she was saying that Cain descendants were black folks, and that we started off in slavery,
Mhm.
meaning because Cain was made to be servants of servants, his family, his children, the generations after him was made to be servants of service. So we started off as slaves.
Mhm.
And I couldn't accept that. At a young age, I remember this to this day. Um, and then sit well with my spirit, knowing that we started off as slaves. And that kind of like put me on a quest to search and seek knowledge, but also apply the knowledge that I've learned in my life so it could benefit me and my children and those around me. I always wanted to learn, brother. I always wanted to, I was that type that's gonna ask you the question. So I got the answer. That's how I always been.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything different. I wouldn't expect nothing different. Um, I understand that you were born and raised in Patterson, New Jersey. How did you end up in North Carolina?
Brother, my parents originally were from the South. My
Mhm.
father was from Lewiston. My mother was from Scotland Neck, but they both end up moving up north and to Patterson. They met each other, you know, got together, and I was a result of them. So from a young age, I was born in Patterson. I was up there in New Jersey. But due to circumstances, wherein my father, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm gonna tell you, man, my father was strung out on drugs. Um, and my mother um tried. My dad was actually he was a big time drug dealer. So what happened was he ended up getting strung out on drugs, and my mom tried to take over the business. In the midst of my dad getting strung out, and my mom trying to run the business, um, you know, my mom got a hold of some bad dope, and so she made a lot of money, but people was chasing her. So we was moving from house to house, different motel to motel to motel, and finally the state got involved. And what happened was the state took me and my sister away from my mother and put us in a foster home. And
Mhm.
so once we was put in the foster home, my mother contacted some of our family members down in North Carolina and asked them to adopt us to get us out of the foster home to get us back in the arms of family. So what happened was my grandma's sister adopted us, and that's how we got out of the foster home. Me and my sister Shakia, and that's how we ended up in North Carolina through that process right there.
Okay. Okay. Those humble beginnings, do you think that gave you that motivation to be the king that you are today?
Yeah, everything we go through in life prepare us for the things that's gonna come. So
Mhm.
I would say that the humble beginnings and the trials and tribulations that I went through as a child, it made me strong so that when things were to happen, I don't break down or I don't shake. I understand that it's gonna get better. And I know that I have to continue fighting. Because at the end of the day, we don't give up. That's something about us. We never
Mhm.
give up. So regardless of how slim or how bad things look, because like, in foster homes, when you stand with people that really don't love you, but they're using you as a paycheck, they treat you different, right? But what it does is it makes you get tough skin. So it made me a lot tougher. Even though at the time I was a kid and I had to go through the trials and tribulations of being a kid, but what it did, it made me a stronger person. So, I don't take losses, I take lessons. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I go through in life is meant to teach me a lesson. And I learned at a young age that, through the things that, even though it was out of my control, I understood that, life goes on. And either you're going to pick yourself up or you're going to fall down. And I always been the type that, when all this stuff was going on, I was the big brother to my sister. So I always
Mhm.
had to protect my sister at all costs. You get what I'm saying? So in a sense,
Absolutely.
it always kind of like made me like the bigger brother. So I, I took things with a grain of salt, but I also knew that it ain't always going to be like this. And you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it kind of made me initially where I was numb. So like a lot of things as kids growing up, I was numb to certain things, like feelings. To be honest, I'm being real with you. Like
Mhm.
feelings and certain things, I was numb to that. Because at a young age, I had my heart broken for what had happened, but it made me more responsible and also made me want to drive and be dedicated so that nothing like this could ever happen to me again. So I have to put myself in a better situation. So I had to strive for knowledge and always, solve problems, man, because you got to move on regardless of what goes on in life. Like you have to be able to adapt to whatever is going on and also prepare yourself so when things move on, you're able to move forward and not backwards. So yeah, it was motivational. But it made me
That's
into who I am.
well, thank you for sharing that with me. I had spoke with a gentleman a little while ago about conditional love, and I still have my father with me, but my mother has passed. And one of the things that really meant a lot to me was like I would be able to call my mom, at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, when she would pick up. And the gentleman that I was talking to, he had just lost his father, and he was basically saying that he didn't have anyone that would give him that conditional love, because love from everybody else is conditioned. You got to do this to get love, you got to do that to get love, but when you think and you say that love right there is not an option, and you have to be able to get that type of feeling from somewhere else. I can definitely understand how you've been able to be so strong throughout the years. And um, I work for myself now. I'm an entrepreneur. Got, of course, Baldwin Insurance Group. But I met you, some years ago when I
Mhm.
used to work in a hosky at RBC Bank. You remember RBC Bank in a
Yeah, I
hosky?
remember.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I remember you. I used to go out there to the fairgrounds and stuff like that, and I met people. I was meeting people, but I didn't really know them. But now I,
Hmm.
I had a chance to know people a little better after about 10 years, but I remember you. And the thing that really stood out to me the most was that this guy, these group of guys, are taking time to help the elderly. They getting food and trying to help people with life. And the thing about it that I love about that so much, Stewart, is that we all get caught up in what we want to see in life. We want to see a change. Everybody wants to see a change, but not many people are willing to be the change that they want to see in the world. And that's why I was so excited to see you and get you on the stage and this platform, because people need to know what local heroes lie around, and from the studies that I did, it seems as if that was part of the group, the NCRBGZ. Can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about how you helped Hertford County? Please tell us about that.
Well, brother, I don't know why this thing keep doing. I see what you're talking about now. But
Mhm,
NCRBGZ is a nonprofit organization.
mhm,
Basically, that was started by me and another guy named Jason Barnes. And what
mhm,
it represents is it's supposed to be North Carolina red, black, and green. Because we market Garvey. You see Garvey back here? I don't know if you
mhm,
can see the picture of Garvey right here, but we Garveyites. So
mhm,
we are under the teaching of Marcus Garvey, where we believe in Pan-Africanism and black people doing for ourselves, right? So during that time of studying Marcus Garvey, you read books about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. You learn about some of our great heroes and how they took action. Not only did they study stuff, but they took action to help the lesser fortunate, right? So our
mhm,
organization was basically based off of helping the young and the elderly. Because the children are our future. So we wanted to instill pride in the kids here in the Hosky in Hertford County, about themselves, because in our communities, a lot of times, a lot of children don't have father figures. So we wanted to like bridge that gap for a lot of kids that really didn't have that father figure in their lives. So like what we always wanted to do, it was about giving back to the community, right? Giving back, giving back. My partner Jason was very big on that at that time. Like, let's give back to the less fortunate. Let's give back to those who don't have what we have. And it's all about lifting us as a group of people collectively, lifting our consciousness, right? And like seeing a kid, I'm gonna tell you a quick story, man. One day, when we was doing our events, like we used to go to like the projects and we would see the young kids out there. So we told them that, there's the end of the year EOG grade test was coming up, right? And we told them, said, we're gonna come to y'all school and we're gonna motivate y'all before the test, right? So that Monday, we talked to the principal and they allowed us to greet the kids when they got off the school bus to
Mhm.
motivate them for the EOG test. And it was there's like three kids from the projects. When they saw us, I wish you could have saw their face. He was like, "Oh, you really came. You really cared." Like he was like, "Y'all really came out here. Y'all said y'all was gonna come. Y'all really done it." And just to see that kid face where a man telling them that they're gonna do something and they actually done it. Like every time I think of it, it's put chills in my body because that young boy, like the way he said it was like he was used to people disappointing him. He was used to people saying they're gonna do this, but not showing up to do it, right? And that's all it was for. Whatever we done, it ain't about getting no gratitude, no recognition or nothing. It ain't about that. It's about helping those that are less and fortunate than us, man. We stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. Our ancestors have done a lot so we can be here. They sacrificed a lot. So it's nothing for me to be willing to help those that are less fortunate than I am, especially all we doing is just carrying on the torch. So actually that was a part of my transformation when I was gaining my consciousness. But we always have to look out for the women and the children and the lesser fortunate. And that's just something that's in my core, and to the point now we're in, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but now I'm doing it in Africa now. So I
Mhm.
started off locally in my community helping those, and now we done took it to a global level where now we're going
Let's
globally
not.
doing the same thing.
I won't go too far. I won't go too far because I really want to make a point. Okay, the point that I want to make right now is that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and I'm glad that you were able to get that response from the kids. Because uh, like you said, kids are our future. And you put a lot of sweat and tears, blood, sweat, and tears into a hosky. And so you had ran for the town council and was denied. How did that uh, formulate your comeback?
You know,
How did you bounce back from that?
actually, bro, when I ran for town council, I really didn't run for me. I ran for the local folks in the community to see that
Mhm.
the stereotypes that we have on who a leader is, who can be a leader, I wanted to break them stereotypes. My whole thing was I want you to know that I'm a regular person just like you. Y'all seen me in a hosky walking around the town. I remember when I was homeless, man. People know when I used to be strung out on drugs here in a hosky in the street. So me running for town council, really, even though I lost, I was running to break barriers. I wanted people to understand that if I can do it, you can do it. You don't have to be a certain type of person to have a degree, go to college, get 4 years of education to be impactful in your community. So that's
Mhm.
why I never cut my dreads while I ran. I know that if I would have cut my locks as a possibility, I would have won because but my whole point was to break barriers. I wanted the little boys in the hood to see, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it. That's why I ran. The If I would have won, it would have been good. But I was running to break barriers. My whole mindset is we have to break the barriers that we have and the limitations that we have that we can do. I believe that anything you want to do, you can do it. So my running, that's all it was for, bro. It was just to break barriers so they can see a different type of candidate, a candidate that's in the streets, a candidate that actually know what I'm talking about though, but also a candidate that relates to people that the everyday Joe have seen me and they have talked to me and they realize this is a real human being. And I just wanted to be an inspiration. That's all my candidacy was, brother. It was just me breaking barriers to be an inspiration. So even though I lost, now I'm gonna be honest, the losing aspect of it wasn't that bad. The hard part was my father died right after I lost. So I really don't think it was the fact that I lost. It was because my father had passed. But my father was so happy because I was doing things that nobody has ever done in my family. I was breaking barriers. I'm moving the needle a different. That's all it was for. So even though I lost, I won't upset that I lost. Actually, because I know what my candidacy did. It it convinced others who should have ran, they ran after me and they got in the seat. And we got some county commissioners that you can talk to. They would tell you that the reason why they ran, because when I ran, they realized it should have been them that was running. And they realized that I gave them inspiration to say, you know what? No, we're gonna take care of our community. We don't. It don't have to be the square guy or the or somebody that's squeaky clean. You can redeem yourself if you have done things wrong in the past, and that's what it led. It was a movement with me. My running was meant to be a movement, so anybody that felt like they have dreams in a Hosky or Hertford County, or they feel like they want to do better, they feel like they can do a better job than what's being done. Go out here, man. Don't let nobody hold you back. And that was the whole purpose of my me running for office, brother. To be real, it was just to break the barriers, man, to get rid of the stereotypes of who can be a leader in the town and who can't. That's what it was all for.
Well, well, I definitely understand that. And the thing to me is like when you're doing such a huge work in the county, in the town, you know, you need people to step up and get behind you, you know, and that's when I was listening to the story, that's kind of how I felt. It was like this guy is making sure you eat and you're not getting up to vote. But at the end of the day, I really feel like you really did it for the right reason. And you got to excuse me, okay? Because I speak what I feel, but I also feel like a strong Bob Marley vibe, and I feel like the stone that the builder refused will always be the head cornerstone. You see,
Mm-hmm.
so you put that work in, and you was refused, you know, at that point, but you went on to do greater things. And so we're gonna talk about the greater things that you're doing. Do you feel that you exemplify the stone that the builder refused? Do you feel that way sometimes?
Yes, all the time, brother. But I just the most important thing is I believe that we need to break all the stereotypes and all the barriers in our individual families. As black folks, we have had it hard here in America, man. And we've had it hard generational. So I say the generational curses that we have to break. So yeah, I feel like that. I feel like but I never took it out on the people because at one time I wasn't politically conscious myself. When it comes to politics in the community, that's something that we're not taught in school. I mean, let's be honest about it. Like in our day-to-day conversations at the house, a lot of times we don't come up in homes where we're talking about politics, man. We don't.
Mhm.
So a lot of times when it comes to voting, and then when we have actually got behind people and we put them in office, then we don't understand that one person can't do it all. You get what I'm saying? So now people
Absolutely.
lose faith in the system. You know what I'm saying? We all got behind this brother. This brother got in office. Then we got in office. Did nothing change because we don't understand the dynamics of politics. We don't
Mhm.
understand that one person is one vote, especially when you're talking about town councils, right? So one
Mhm.
person can't do everything. You need to have majority of the seats. You get what I'm saying? So like
Mhm.
this is stuff that we don't know. So like even though people didn't vote for me, I can understand that, yeah, you know what, somebody else came and done the same thing, said the same thing. We put them in office and we didn't see a change because we're not politically inclined. We don't know. We don't know the process. We don't know how things work. But I feel like we're getting better at it now, though. So I feel like people are getting more wiser and they're actually understanding and paying attention to the taxes and understand that we got 5 town council members here in the Hosky, so you have to have majority to vote to get things passed. I think we're understanding that more and more now. So I never hold it against people because I understand in our community certain things like it's not pushed or wasn't pushed like it should have been pushed, but we're getting better at it. So no, man, I never did, bro. I just felt like we split the vote. Me and David Robinson, we were 2 black candidates running from the same seat. We split the black vote and the white lady won. That's not what it was, bro. Without I had 243 votes. She won with like 300 and she beat me by like 70 votes. But if me and David Robinson, another black candidate, hadn't split the black vote, if it would just been one of us, again, if we'd have been politically smart to understand, hey, we don't need 2 black people running for the same seat. Y'all gonna split the black vote.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. We split the black vote, and that's how she won. But now, if you pay attention to what's going on in the Hosky, the way the landscape is changing since I ran, it's a difference. We're not politically divided no more. We're not splitting the black vote. We're using our black vote to get things done. So it was just a stepping stone where we was going in the right direction. And it just so happened, I didn't win. I could have ran again. And the opportunity came for me to run again. But I felt like I'm not a politician. I didn't run again to be a politician for every year. No, I ran it to break barriers, and that's what I did. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the outcome, and I'm happy because my life went where it's going. Everything happens for a reason, brother. And I don't look back. One thing that Kwame Nkrumah always says is always forward, never backwards. You can only go forward, never go backwards. So I just take it as a learning lesson, and I learned, brother.
Man, I love that, man. And if you don't mind, I might have to take that from you. Always forward, never backwards. I love it. I love it. But you have made such a marvelous transition in your life, and to be at a point where you might be, using drugs yourself, to the point where you are a community leader. Um, like I told you, I've been following you for about a week and a half now. So I'm glad to be able to get this interview over with because I got to flush my brain. But the transition that you made was just marvelous. And so as we look forward to being able to change our community, there's some young child out here, there's some adult that needs to have that guidance that they haven't had. How I know that you read plenty books. Tell me about some of the teachers that helped you, some of your mentors that instructed you, that allowed you to make that transition to the person that you are right now.
Um, yo, individual people, um, I would say, I'm a big Marcus Garvey fan. Marcus Garvey, it's a brother named Dr. Jahi Issa. He was a professor at Elizabeth um City College. He was a profound help me in my growth stage. Jason Bars, I mentioned Jason earlier, man. I gotta give a shout out to Jason because Jason Jason helped me to understand um he helped me to understand that like it's not it's about action, it's about doing. It's about like, you know what I'm saying? Like not looking backwards. Like what I said, Jason helped me understand that a lot. And then brother Tony Riddick, now books I read Dr. Ben, um Ivan Van Sertima. You know, I'm very into African history, man. These are books that I've read and leaders. So you got Dr. John Henry Clark. I read a lot of his books. Brother Robert Duvall. I read some of his books. Man, I can name a lot of authors that I read, but mostly with me, it's interaction with people. I learn from everybody. I'm like a sponge, man. I soak things up. So like as a kid, I always hung around older folks because older people always got good knowledge. You know, my mother, my father also. Now that I thought about that, my father has always been my role model. So, you know, growing up as a kid, once I got to know my father and I got to know my father's story and what he went through, how he transformed his life, and how he ended up being who he was my role model. So, like, I didn't have superhero role models. My role models was humans, or my father really was my role model. Once I got to find out his story, and it just gave me the ability to know that I'm very big on know thyself, man. I'm very big on that. That's something that the angels always say, know thyself. So, like, if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. So, I'm very big on manifesting the things that we want because I believe the power is within us. And I believe a lot of us don't believe that we have the power within us to actually make change. So, I believe in speaking things into existence. The things that I want, I speak it and I make it come right. I'm very big on this on affirmations. You know, I'm very big on bigging myself up, man. Saying that, giving myself goals, saying this is what I'm gonna do in 5 years and accomplishing my goals. I'm very big on self awareness, man, and looking within yourself to solve your problems. I don't believe in looking outside of myself for any type of problem solvers. And I guess it's just, you know, the way I was raised, man. I'm very big on like, yeah, we have the power within us to manifest whatever we want. So I interact with a lot of people and I take some from everybody. I'm like, what they say, you eat the meat and you spit out the bones. So you can learn from anybody. Anybody can help you on your journey. But on my conscious journey, the people I name, but really, I don't know, man. Something within me. I always been this type of person, man. That like if I see a problem, I want to fix it. I believe that a problem wants to be solved, and I believe that it's my job to solve that problem. Like I'm not gonna let the problem beat me. No, you want to be solved, and I'm gonna solve it. And that's just how my mind works.
Absolutely. And I agree with that 110%. 110%. Well, we're going to go to break here in just a second. But before we go, uh, I want to let you know that I appreciate you taking the time to kind of give us the groundwork of how you became international. And so when we come back from break, we're going to talk about the international part two. Okay. And so thank you so much for being with us, Stewart. Thank you so much, audience. Y'all stick with us, and we'll be right back. Once again, everything, Calvin Baldwin.
Welcome to Baldwin Insurance Group, LLC. We're dedicated to exceeding your expectations. We believe customization is key to saving you time and money. Designing insurance plans just for you. No two people are the same, and your coverage shouldn't be either. Whether you're shopping for auto, home, life, business, retirement, or trucking insurance, Baldwin Insurance Group is the company for you. At Baldwin Insurance Group, we also cater to our Spanish-speaking clients. From auto and home to life, retirement, commercial insurance, and mortgage needs, we've got you covered. You can trust Baldwin Insurance Group for all of your insurance needs. We do more because we expect more. Think of us as your neighbors next door. Your concerns are our concerns. Baldwin Insurance Group, a name you can trust and depend on. Visit us online at baldwininsgroup.com or stop by our office at 133 East Main Street in Murfreesboro. Call us at 252-396-0035 or toll free at 888-351-0104. Baldwin Insurance Group, your trusted neighbor in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia.
Welcome back to Everything with Calvin Baldwin. We got magnificent Stewart Fields right here with us. And so we're going to resume our interview. And once again, thank you for being with us, Stewart. And so we want to pick up, okay, as far as when you started moving your efforts abroad. And so once again, just to recap, you were born in New Jersey, and you were there in Hertford County, helping out, providing food to the elderly and assistance, doing everything that you can. And as a result, you started expanding your horizons, just like Jabez. You know, you expanded your coast, and you were able to help more people. And so one of the things that just excited me was the fact that you were traveling abroad. The fact that you were going to Africa. A lot of people talk about Africa. You know, they don't really know probably nothing about it because they never been there. They never touched the soul. You know, they never tasted the food. They never interacted with their family there. But nonetheless, you have. And that's always excited me. And I've seen some of the pictures, things of that nature, and I'm all excited. I need to be up there with you guys, you know, seeing what's going on and talking to some people up there myself. And so that's how I felt. But reaching out into the past, I know that we, well, from the studies that I've done, I see that there was something called the 2020 year of the return. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I mentioned Dr. Jahi Issa, the professor at Elizabeth City State, that I actually met. And you know, in the process of meeting him, you know, he wrote the bylaws to our nonprofit organization, and he fashioned it off of Marcus Garvey and the UNA. And so, you know, Doc, this had been going back and forth to Africa for 20, 30 years. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to change your life. He was like, you know, I'm going to change. He was like, I'm going to Africa. Now, it was 2000, the year of the return was 2019. And we supposed that went December 2019, but we ended up going January 2020. But basically, he said he going to take us to Africa and change our lives. Now, what's ironic about this is that I always wanted to go to Africa. I feel as African Americans, it's our duty to take the DNA that was taken from that soil and return it back home. Because I believe that, you know, our ancestors that left and were brought over here, they stopped what we was doing, and our DNA was brought here. So I believe that it's spiritually inclined for us to return our DNA back to the sender or where it came from. So for me, I always wanted to go back to Africa. I always wanted to put my feet on the soil because I believe that I'm returning my ancestors back home because I believe that our ancestors came from there. So when he gave us the opportunity to go, I was ecstatic. I'm happy, man. And Bro, I'm gonna tell you, man. I ain't never gonna forget the first time I got off the plane in Africa. It was hot, but it was hot, but a different type of hot. I ain't talking about heat hot. I'm talking about my heart was warm, and and the way they treated me when I first walked there was it was a warming, embracing, like they've been waiting for me to come. And it was so warming and warmth in my heart that it was like, yo, this what it is. Like the culture there is warm. Like in America, it's cold. What I mean, and I ain't talking about weather cold. I'm talking about here, we have cold shoulders, we have cold hearts. It's like, we'll walk by somebody won't say hi. You see somebody and help, you won't help them. You get what I'm saying? You got that cold shoulder here because everything is on up and up, and I got to worry about me. It's me, 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 me. It ain't us, us, us. But when I got there, it took me back where it's us, it's we. It's not about me. It's about the collective. So this is why I say it was warm. It was so warm, man, and like I fell in love, bro. And the stereotypes that we have about Africa, even me as a conscious brother, I had them same stereotypes. So when I first got there, and I get off the plane and I go outside and I see skyscrapers and tall buildings and roads and cars. Even though I'm a conscious brother, I'm still shocked because the perception we have of Africa is not what Africa is. They have gave us this perception that they so far behind. And when I got there and see, man, they got stoplights, they got road crossing. It's just like America. Accra was just like being in New York or in Raleigh or Charlotte. It was just like any other city. It blew my mind. It blew my mind because I'm thinking, no, man, they run around here like they run around lines and stuff running around. I'm being honest. But when I got there and I saw that, yo, it's not like that. It was a surreal experience. So Dr. Issa took us to the slave dungeons. So you have to do the tours, go down there to El Mino, to the slave councils, and walk through there and see what our ancestors had to go through. And that was the hardest part of going, was being in the slave dungeons and seeing the stuff on the floor that was like 3 feet high. Even though this is hundreds of years later, it's still there on the floor of people, blood, sweat, tears, and shit, and all that. I mean, feces that has built up to the point where you can't see the floor of the castle, of the dungeon. You can't see the floor because of all the stuff that has been on the floor, and to the point was so high that they slowly are cleaning it to try to get to the floor. They still haven't got to the floor of the dungeon. And like you get to hear the stories of and what our ancestors went through, man, and go through that door of return. They got a door called the door of no return, where we're in after they stayed in the dungeons for 3 months when the boat came, they went through that door of no return and got in the ocean and they never returned back, right? So that was but it was life changing because it felt like man, in them dungeons, bro, you can feel your ancestors. You can feel the spirits there, man. You can feel their pain, man. So after going through that, I was told that that the slaves didn't come from the south, that we have to go to the northern region of Ghana to see where the slaves come from. So Dr. Issa arranged for us to go up north. Now up north, we are close to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is on the north part of Ghana. So now we're close to the desert. It's desert, it's hot. And we found out that they got slave camps up there in the northern part of Ghana. Now the northern part of Ghana is like not the city. It's more like the country. You know, like okay, you say you stay in the city, and then oh boy, you in the country. The northern part of Ghana is more like the country, where you can find the villages. You can find true African life up there. But when I went up there, we went up there and we saw the slave dungeons and not the slave dungeons, but the slave camps. Because what happens is they used to catch the slaves up north and march them 90 days down south, and then they got on the boats to go. So what you find out is that the people in the south, they knew about the people up north because they used to trade. The northerners were the ones who had the goats, the meat, and they would bring them march down south and trade with the southern people. You know, but this is inner stuff of Ghana that a lot of people don't know about. But so we go up there and so when you go up there, you find out it's women, because in Africa, Ghana in particular, the women does all the heavy lifting. So you'll find out women are walking 3-4 miles a day with buckets of water on their head because they don't have water in the villages. So once we found that out, we decided to put a water well down. So we said, you know what? Well, then, you know, we're a little more fortunate. Let's put a water well down in the northern part of Ghana, so the women don't have to, women and children, because they're the ones that carry the water. It ain't the men like in America, the men does that. In Africa, in Ghana, it's different. The women does all that. So we was like, man, we got to put some water wells down. So we put a water well down, so the people won't have to walk as far. So when we done that, you know, we already, because mind you, Jason and I, we the one had the nonprofit organization here in the hospital where we was feeding the youth, and we was doing that here. So we just transitioned it once we went to Africa to start doing it in the villages. So we was already feeding the homeless and the elders, and we to another level in Africa because you know our money go a little further, right? So we started putting water wells down. So what we did was we created a water well festival where every year we have a festival in the northern part of Ghana, in particular on Pika World Slave Camp Paga. It's the northern part of Ghana where every year in March we have a water well festival. So every year we've been putting water, we'll locate areas where the people have to walk far to get water, and we will put water wells in their villages. So every year we put water wells down. And you know, it just got us to the point where we have that festival every year now. And we're actually building a school in the northern part of Ghana now. We're in the process of building Pan-African school up there. But yeah, that's that, man. I always felt like I had to go home. It's like, you know, you never been home until you've been to Africa. That's what I personally believe. So you know, so it was a blessing to go home in my eyes. Because that's of my mindset.
So involving in regards to the water wells, um, did you meet any challenges while you were implementing them, and how were you able to overcome those challenges?
Actually, bro, really want no challenges with the water wells, man. It was just doing it. It's like once you see um our people and you see their living conditions, especially in the villages. The villages is different than in the towns. So when you see the people in the villages, you see what they can benefit from. It really won't no challenges, man. It was just a matter of getting the money together and getting them to come out there and do it. Really, that's it. You know, because now it's at the point now where with this work that we're doing, it's like, man, I want to help. I want to help. How can I help? You know, it's like, yo, and then you're hearing the stories and you're seeing the living conditions. You just want to help, man. So with me and us, it's just like we really didn't have no challenges. they were welcoming to us, man. And like it's nothing like helping somebody that can't help you back. It's totally different, man. When you help somebody that you know they can't help you back, but also you know that what you're doing is bringing joy to them to the point wherein they always gonna remember you. And that's the thing about village life that we don't understand. Like, bro, we put water wells down to these folks. They gave us guinea fowls. So they giving us birds. They gave us they giving us um guinea fowls, goats. This is what they giving us, even though they don't have that much. You get what I'm saying? And we there helping them. They still feel compelled to give us something for what we doing for them. Now we doing it out the bottom of our heart, and they giving us guinea fowls and goats and whatever they can give, peanuts. They call it granites over there. They don't say peanuts, they call it granites. But they giving us granites. They just giving whatever they have to let us see their appreciation of what we're doing for them. And this is where you can see real humanity in folks. This is why I tell anybody that go to Africa, man, you have to go to the villages so you can see African life and you can see the brotherhood and the sisterhood and the humanity in these people. And even though what they live in, we will call it hood mutts, or they may not have electricity, but they are some of the kindest folks and the most humblest folks. And it humbles you. It makes you realize, like, yo, what the world are we doing? And how can it's like in America, like sometimes you can meet a homeless person, right? And when you sit and talk to them, man, they'll give you the shirt off their back. They ain't got nothing, but they willing to share with you their last. And it just humbles me, man. It's a humbling experience to see that these, they okay though. They surviving, but we take a lot of things for granted, man. So we really ain't ran into too many challenges as far as the water wells. Actually, whatever it costs to us, we like we're just gonna pay it. You get what I'm saying? Because it's our way of tying them back to the earth. We tie them back to the universe now. This is more than just tied in like you do in church. We feel like we tied into the universe when we do this because we helping people, and then it's being put in left in stone. So like this stuff is in stone. So like every time I can go, I can drive by areas where I know a water well down, put a water well down. And you see the kids benefiting from it. You see the people out there. It's just a beautiful feeling, man, to know that you helping folks, man. Especially you helping people who you know they can't help you back. I'm talking about as far as financially, like, it's just a humbling feeling.
And I believe you got in other words, like the key to the city. Can you tell me how they honor you?
Well, in Paga, they giving us land. So like because of the work that we're doing in that area, we have met the chief. Now in Africa, they call these folks chiefs, and in Europe they call them kings.
Mhm.
You see that? In
Mhm.
Africa, they won't call them kings. That's why they call them chiefs, because they didn't want the world to know that they was enslaving kings and queens. So that's why in Africa they call them chiefs. They originally they wasn't called chiefs; they were called kings and queens. So we met the king of Paga, and the king of Paga, and then they have granted us land access, wherein um when we can spot land that we want, and they're gonna give it to us. So this is their way of giving back, so we can build homes there, and they have adopted us in the family. Another place is Bogatonga, Ghana. Bogatonga is before you get to Paga. Now, Bogatonga is more of a city, more of a town. I ain't gonna say a city, I'm gonna say a town. It's more modernized, and we have the key there, because the person that we met that took us up there, is well
Gogo,
known. Gogo.
Gogo.
Yeah, Gorgor is well known in Bogatonga. And actually, Gorgor was the one who mentioned going up north. He told Jason about it actually. And Gorgor he's the man in Bogatonga. And so he took us up there and they have adopted us to the point where I can speak Fry now. That's what they speak up there. I've learned part of their language. And the thing about Gorgor and how they adopted us in their family is that when we in Accra, you have people from Bogatonga that stay in Accra. So that we all know each other now, man. So like they have adopted us. Like we their brothers, man. Whenever I see them, they know me, I know them. And like if anything were to happen, they are my brothers. It's like I'm part of the family. So, and that's something that we'll learn when you go over there. Certain things you'll learn about. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing. And I'm gonna tell you a story, man, that an older woman told me. She was like 90 some years in Africa, and she said that they've been waiting for us to come back, bro. She said that they are waiting for us to come back and save Africa. What we don't know is that the Africans that they took from the continent, we weren't regular people. We were the business minds. We were the teachers. We were the lawyers. We were the doctors. When they took the people from Timbuktu, Songhai, and Ghana and West Africa, they didn't take just workers. They took educated people. And this is why we built America up when we came over here. We built this place up because we had the skills and the mindset. And we stopped the growth of Africa when they brought us over here. We stopped. That's why Africa hasn't grown, because the growth was stopped and we came over here and built this up. But they waiting on us to come back home and build Africa up and free Africa from the corruption that they're going through. And this is something that is you can't say everything because of the internet and whatever, but this is something that we have to take a hard look at, family. And it's something we have to take a hard look at, brother. Like your insurance company. They got insurance companies in Africa, brother. It's a big opportunity. You get what I'm saying? Like we have to start thinking like that. And I'm not saying leave America permanently, because this is ours too. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with having dual citizenship, just like the Israelis have dual citizenship, just like the people in Europe have dual citizenship. Why can't we have citizenship on the continent too and here? And this is how we have to think. We have to start thinking globally. I think as people, we don't think globally no more. I think we think locally, or we may think we worried about what's in our circumference, what we see. But at one time, we led the world in a lot of things. So you had to have that mindset, and we have to get that mindset back, brother. Most of all the natural minerals that we deal with come from the continent. Most of all the minerals, gold, silver, um, platinum, even the stuff for the cell phones, all that stuff is mined in Africa. So it's interesting that, and one also thing, when you go to Africa, everybody is there. When you go to Africa, the Chinese there, the East Indian there, the Arab there, the white man there, the Caucasian, everybody is there buying Africa. But the people that have the closest relationship to Africa ain't there. They want to do business with us. But where are we at? Like, $1 is $16 in their money in CDs. $1 American, $16 in their money. Actually, $1 American, $17 now in their money. But like Africa is for sale. Africa is the last continent that haven't been industrialized. It's one of the last places that haven't been industrialized. They are starting to industrialize Africa as we speak, man. Why don't we, the ones who they are wanting to come, help industrialize it? Why are we not doing it? We sit and catch hell here in America. Now some of us are doing good, but I'm talking about collectively as a group. We catching hell here, man. We don't have to sit here and catch hell. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. So with that conversion rate being 1 to 17, that means that you can get some great real estate there. And so is the real estate right there on Osho Beach? Is that where the real
yeah,
estate?
you get real estate everywhere in Africa is for sale. Everywhere. And I'm not just talking about Ghana. I'm talking about Gambia. I'm talking about Togo, Benin, Sierra Leone, um, Guinea-Bissau. Look, Africa is for sale, man. They'll lease well, put like this, they'll lease you the land for 100 years. After 100 years, they go back to but they're leasing land out, man. And getting beachfront property is easy. Like it's just I wish what I knew now 10 years ago. But it's not too late, man. But I just know that if you want to get real estate, you can go over there. America let you take $10,000. It's most they let you take, right? So $10,000 in American money is 170,000 in their money. You pay rent every 2 years or yearly over there. You don't pay rent month to month over there. It's either 1 year or 2 years worth of rent. So you can imagine how much it costs. You get a 1 bedroom with a bathroom, kitchen, living room for a year. You can imagine 500 American dollars a year.
Mm, man, that's wonderful. That's a definitely.
Now, if you want to build you a 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom house, you spend maybe 100,000 CDs. 100,000 CDs, you talking about less than $10,000, man,
Mm,
brother. But it's like Africa is a calling, man. It got to be in you. Everybody don't want to go. You get what I'm saying? Everybody ain't called, man. So if it's in you, you're gonna go because it's a calling, man. It's a calling. The Creator calling us, man, for a reason. But whoever gonna go, but go. But I just tell anybody, man, don't let no stereotypes stop you from pursuing anything you want to pursue. I'm very big on that, brother. I'm very big on don't let nothing, if anything is in your circle or in your surroundings that is stopping you from reaching your greatest potential, you have to remove that. I don't care if it's your mother, I don't care if it's your father, your sister, I don't care who it is. If anybody is in your circle that's prohibiting you from reaching your fullest potential, you have to remove them, man. Because that's our goal is to become the best version of ourselves. And anybody that's prohibited in that, you have to get them out of your circle, man. And I'm a firm believer in that, man. And Calvin, you gotta come, man. I'm proud of your insurance company, brother. Like you making headway yourself, brother. So you gotta give yourself a pat on the back too, also, brother. Like you doing some great things yourself. I remember when I met you too. I remember. So you doing some great things yourself, man. So one thing I say is that we all have greatness in us. We all have it in us, man, and we all are doing great things one way or the other. It don't matter how big or how small it is, because it's about you. It's not what nobody else thinks. It's about you and yourself. What do you think? Are you satisfied with what you're doing? This is why I would say, the ancients always say, know thyself, man. Who are you? What are you? What is your goal? What is your job? Like, why are you here? What is your purpose? What is the legacy you want to leave? These are the questions that we have to answer within ourselves. Can't nobody answer it for you. You have to answer that. And once you know your purpose and you know who you are, you know where you want to go, you know where you have to do what you have to do to get where you want to go. You go on your journey, man. And that's the best thing that I say about life is that we all gotta walk our own steps, man. I can't walk in your shoes, brother, because your shoes is meant for you. Your steps are meant for you. This is what's gonna make you Calvin. My steps is gonna make me Stewart, right? This is the wonderful thing about life, is that we all have our own path that we have to take. We all gotta we all gotta walk our own miles. We gotta do it, man. And can't nobody do it for you, man. And that's the beautiful thing about it, Calvin. And I tell anybody, man, go to Africa, man. Just go once. Just go once. You ain't gotta see, this new thing in America is now that we're not from Africa. I hope you know that. That's the new thing that's going on now.
Man, I love Africa, man. As a matter of fact, I've been to Egypt, and I've been
Wow.
to Jerusalem and Israel, and so I've been able to see some things that was mind blowing. But I definitely want to come to Ghana. Let me ask you a question real quick, because I still got a few more questions for you before we go. What does the future of Ghana look like for you? The future of it, like if you were to look at 5 years in Ghana, from the work that you have done and the work that you're going to do and the work that other people are doing, what does 5 years look like for Ghana?
Well, I hate to say it, but I'm a realist, man. Unless Ghana leadership changes, 5 years from now, Ghana gonna be worse because they're trying they're trying to be too Americanized. You know, everybody ain't meant to be everybody. So what works here may not work there. So I see deterioration in Ghana because they are trying to be like America. And like their constitution is based off our constitution. Their police is based off our police. So you see the deterioration. When I say the deterioration, you understand I'm a Pan-Africanist. So my view of America might not be like everybody else, brother. Because of what we've been through here. But I see regression. I see people losing their humanity. Because things are getting worse. The cost of living is getting higher there, but the government is not providing jobs because they basing everything off the dollar. So now people are losing their spirituality because everybody trying to work all the time. Everybody trying to make money, 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 money. So the morals are leaving. You get what I'm saying? When I first went there, it wasn't as many homeless people. The more I go, the more homeless people I see. But that's what capitalism does. For capitalism to thrive, you gotta have a bottom class to feed off of. Well, it's creating, Africa's already kind of poor. So now you put a capitalistic mindset in a poor country where you already got bottom feeders anyway. What is it's gonna cause not racism, but classism over there. And I can see it getting worse, man, because I feel like they need to do an African way of things, not the American way. But that's my personal opinion. But I understand it's deteriorating. The price of living is going up. As foreigners like me, it's okay, but to an average Ghanaian, it's too expensive. The government is corrupt. They stealing money. Um, then America is making them accept certain things to get money. You get what I'm saying? They pushing certain agendas to get money. and one of it is the letter gang. I'll say that. The letter gang that they push in America, where they forcing it on them in Africa right now. And for them to get money, they have to accept it. So, like that's deteriorating because that's not African. But, so that's me personally, man. I see Ghana getting worse. I'm just being real about the whole situation. It's going to become more like America, wherein the young kids that's now begging, 5 years from now, they're not going to be begging, they're going to be taking.
I understand.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, because for people to survive, it's going to be so expensive that their morals, the warmness of them is going to leave, and it's going to start getting colder and colder because they following capitalism. And that's what capitalism creates. I hate to say it, but it is what it is.
I got you. Well, let me ask you this question. I noticed that there's a talk about a strong detox, and other products and drinks, and organic items, shea butter, things like that that are made, right in front of you. That's amazing. Can you tell us about some of the products, that's there?
Yeah, so like I was saying, Africa has the cure for everything. So one thing that I've been able to get involved with the villages is that most villages, they have products that they have there, and it's untapped. So I have the privilege of bringing some of these products back to America, for medicinal purpose. So like turmeric powder. A lot of people are familiar with turmeric, or baba powder, or neem oil, right? Tea tree oil, black soap, face wash. So what I have been able to do is I have my own company wherein I ship the organic products from Africa to America, and I sell them over here as a way of making money. So I don't want to talk too much on it, brother, because of certain issues with certain things. Because when you talk about medical products that can help with health problems, it's guidelines with this here in America, and they very strict on stuff like that. And so I have to protect myself, brother, with certain things. But know that the creator, something we just talk normal, man. Like, I don't know about you, but my great grandma and grandmother, we used to get sick around here. They used to go in the woods and find stuff for us. They used to use the earth to heal us, right? So they still do that in Africa. They use the earth to heal you with whatever problems that we have. So God has put whatever we need to help us here. It's just a matter of us using it. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to bring this stuff back to America so people locally can use the products. I have hair products, skin products, body products, and health products that I bring back. And, I have a website. You can go to my website actually to check the stuff out. It's Anointed Hands.
Can't slow down. Feet are moving on the ground. Heartbeat sings with every beat. dancing shoes fall at my feet.
Sunrise till the night is through, spinning under skies of blue. Time won't wait for anyone. Dance like morning's just begun.
Dancing through time, we let it go. Feel the rhythm start to flow. In the moment, we're so free, dancing through eternity.
I teach cryptocurrency,
Mhm.
and I want to throw that out there because I've been dealing with crypto since 2010, almost
Mhm.
15 years now. And just know that with crypto, the it's a lot of opportunity with the blockchain and cryptocurrency. I would just say that and leave it at that. It's a lot of opportunities with that, so you can make you a little extra money. And
Okay.
I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I'm gonna definitely talk with you about that on the one-off because I want to know. And I got two questions in regards to that because I was gonna definitely get into that because I saw that you had some classes, and I want you to be able to talk with people about how they can take your classes if you're still doing that. But how can beginners best educate themselves on safety when trading and investing, and how to avoid the scams and things of that nature?
All right, the first thing with especially crypto, investing in crypto, only invest what you can afford to lose. That's the first step. Don't invest unless you can afford to lose it. If you can afford to lose it, invest it. All right, now, when it comes to scammers, it's a lot of scammers out there with crypto. And I don't even, with me, since I've been doing it for so long, ain't nobody telling me nothing about crypto. Like, you ain't telling me nothing. So that's how I avoid the scammers. But I have been scammed before um on some of the new coins that come out. So just it's very tricky. So I tell you, do your own research. Don't just don't take what nobody tell you. You research it yourself. And then you research it again and again to verify that it's authentic and legit with the crypto. And that's with stocks too though. Just
Mhm.
don't play with money. Don't play with your bill money. You know, as they always say, don't play with your bill money. That's just the main thing. Don't only deal with money that you can afford to lose. Other than that, man, research, research. Now, I do have classes on my website. I am teaching actually. I'll give you just a quick nugget. Bitcoin is like the election. Every 4 years they go on a bull run. Every 4 years they go on a bull run. So it's a halving cycle with crypto. So this will make Bitcoin worth something because it's only a certain amount of Bitcoin that will ever be mined. So every 4 years, Bitcoin has a halving stage. So what the halving means is once it halves, the amount of Bitcoin you get for mining it reduces in half. So when it first started off mining, you would get one Bitcoin as you mine it, but every 4 years it reduces. So the amount, because people mine Bitcoin with their computers, but every 4 years it cuts in half. So that means the amount that you're going to get for mining reduces. So it means it becomes valuable because it's not an infinite amount. And this is what happens with Bitcoin. Every 4 years, it does a halving. Once it halves from 6 to 8 months, or I would say 4 to 8 months after it halves, Bitcoin go up. I just gave a lot of information right there. Every 4 years, just like the election, I say it again. After Bitcoin halves, it has a halving event. 4 to 8 months after the halve, it goes up. Now, Bitcoin is the parent. All the other coins are the children. So when the mother goes up, the children will follow. When the mother goes down, the father goes down, the children coming down too. So the thing with crypto is once you know the cycle of it, it's easy to make money. And that's how I go, brother. So right now, Bitcoin will go to over $100,000. I'm telling you now. Bitcoin will go over $100,000 probably before the end of this year. It's going to reach over $100,000 per Bitcoin. The next year, by Trump and his administration being pro crypto, it's going to take off. I'll probably give it from January to July of next year. Watch the numbers that Bitcoin will up to. And it's going to blow people's mind because I remember when Bitcoin wasn't even $1. I've been in it that long, man. I remember when you couldn't even get, the only way you was able to get Bitcoin was by mining Bitcoin. You couldn't go on an exchange and buy it. You had to mine it. And at that time, you would print the Bitcoin off on a sheet of paper and there was a barcode. But I'll leave that alone, man. Another day, good conversation.
Man, that is wonderful. My last question on that is, well, I guess you've already answered it because Elon Musk is a part of the administration. So that was my question there. You know, how was that going to be affected? We got that, and so we
Oh yeah,
definitely
trust and
will.
believe. Listen, trust and believe. Not only is Elon Musk a big component of crypto, Donald Trump was receiving it for his campaign when he was a president in the first 4 years. A lot of his cabinet staff are all pro cryptocurrency. The SEC has been very they have been pursuing crypto exchanges very hard under Joe Biden administration, which has been making a lot of crypto exchanges or the technology of crypto, the blockchain, leave America. So Americans like us, they have limited our access to crypto, but it's about to really change because they talking about making it a reserve currency. And with Donald Trump and them talking about, so we can expect good things to come. But as quick as things go up, it must come down. And this is why you need someone like me. I call myself, I'm a tour guide in this crypto world. What I do is I'll take you in the crypto world. I'll take you to all the sites. I take you, make sure you eat you some food, but I make sure you come home safe. When I'm talking about coming home safe is I make sure you don't lose your money. That's what I mean. I'm your guide to make sure that the money that you invest, you don't lose it. That's what I do. And I ain't got no love with crypto. I'm like a box. I'm in and out. I'm in and out with it. I'm in and out with it. And that's how I feel about it, man, because it's a bad side to it. But from a financial aspect, if you try to earn money, it ain't nothing moving like Bitcoin. That's all I tell you. It will reach over 2 million. Before it's all said and done, you will be able to get one Bitcoin for like 2.5 million for one before it's all said and done. Because what's going to happen is governments, and it's already happening, governments will start buying Bitcoin. See, once the government start buying it, because they're going to be using it as a reserve currency, now you're talking about the price really going up. Right now, you got Wall Street that's getting involved. That Wall Street money ain't like government money, like El Salvador. That country that made it a look how much money they got now. When they first made Bitcoin their currency, people, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What they saying right now with Bitcoin around 85, 90,000 per Bitcoin right now. What do you think El Salvador and them doing right now? I promise you, like once the other countries decide to make it their reserve currency, I promise you, it's but what's going to happen is they're going to make it hard for us to have it. At that time, it's going to be like gold. You can't have but a little bit. The rest of you got to keep in a safe that they control. That's what's going to end up happening with it. And, you know, for those who already know that, we're already planning for that. So, like, it's two types of wallets you can have with crypto. You can have a centralized and a decentralized, right? A centralized wallet is like having your money in the bank. And this is how people get their money stolen in crypto. When the exchanges go down and some like Sam Berkman, when exchanges go down, they take all folks' money, it's because on these exchanges, you send all your crypto to their wallet. So now it's one wallet that has everybody crypto in it. So if that person decide I'm gone, whoop, he take all the crypto with him. By the time you realize it, it took all your money. But you think no. It's like having your money in the bank. When you want your money out of the bank, you have to ask them for permission. You got to go put your card in the machine to take the money out, right? So they have to give it back to you. That's a centralized exchange. That's what banks are. With crypto, you want to use a decentralized exchange. A decentralized exchange is an exchange where you are in control of your money. So you don't have to ask for permission to take your own money out. This is the only problem about a decentralized exchange is if you lose your key, you lose your wallet. But the benefit of that is it's on me. I have to take responsibility of my crypto myself. So I ain't got to worry about nobody stealing my crypto. You can't steal it. But if I lose my key, I can't get in my house because they can't make you another key. That's the only problem with that. But it's safeguards that you can do with decentralized exchanges to kind of like make sure if you lose your key, it's a way you can retrieve it. You have to put the safeguards in there. But that's the difference. So that's why when all these exchanges, people been losing their money. I only lost money once. That was the first time. That was in 2012. The first exchange went off Mount Gox, went offline, took some of my money. Because at that time, didn't nobody know what we know now. But after that, no, okay. Let me keep my own key. Let me keep my matter of fact, since we talking because I'm into crypto heavy. You don't know. This is my pet peeve. Now that we talking about it, I can show you my Trezor wallet. This is me having my crypto in my own wallet. So I control my crypto, not nobody else. You ain't taking nothing from me, buddy. But a lot of people don't know that, man. But this is the stuff that I teach to make sure that you don't fall victim of what's happening, man, when it comes to crypto.
Man, thank you so much for sharing that with us, man. I mean, you went right into that, and I didn't even have to set gate it. You knew exactly where I was going. So please give us some information, some contact information on how they can contact you for your products, how they can contact you for your classes, and just give them your info.
Yeah, y'all, you can go to my website. My website is, I want to give you the right one, man. It's www. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna read it. But I'm gonna text it to you. But it's anointed hands. So it's www. It's anointed hands with two N's. So it's ANNOINTED hands.website. Anointed hands website. But I'm gonna text it to you so you can put it in the chat, man. But you can reach me on my website, or you can go to my Facebook page. Or I have a Facebook page called Higher Science. That's the one that you will catch me on more. I have another one called The Age of Information. I own that one. I have another one called Set Haru. I have another Facebook page called Anointed Hands with 2 N's also. But if you really want to catch me, you catch me on a page called Higher Science. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube at Bitmax. That's my crypto channel. So you want to learn about crypto? You subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Bitmax, BIT space MACS. Bitmax. That's how you'll find me on YouTube. I'm on Twitter, Bitmax also. I'm on TikTok. I'm everywhere, man. TikTok, you'll find me at Anointed Hands. But if you want to take my classes, you hit the website. I teach more than just crypto. My crypto classes are connected with stocks because I'm into stocks too. But I only deal with the stocks that's pegged to Bitcoin because you got certain stocks that whenever Bitcoin go up, the stocks go up. Them the only ones I deal with. I only deal with the blockchain stocks because I'm very familiar and confident with blockchain. But yeah, that's how you find me, man. Other than that, yeah, just hit me up, man. I'm around. I'm around.
Man, once again, thank you so much, and I hope that everyone does hit you up. About how many followers do you have now on all your channels
Oh yeah,
collectively?
yeah. I'm at like 700,000. I'm probably getting close to 1 million total. If I add them all up, I'm probably at 1 million. All of them together. But Facebook. These social media sites, they'll get at you if you pushing Black awareness. I don't want to use the word. They got a term for us. If you push Black consciousness, they have a term for you. But if you pushing anything about uplifting Black folks, man, sometimes, and I don't fault you. I don't fault them. Like, if I'm using your platform and I'm trying to uplift my people, but maybe I need to have my own platform to uplift my people. But they got their little tricks. But it's all good, man. That come with the game, man. That's part of the game, part of the territory.
Well, I tell you what, man, I definitely want you to share, this interview, to all of your followers and all your subscribers so that we can grow. And so I love talking about things that's gonna make a difference in the people's lives. And so I'm still very fascinated, what I'm saying, by the work you've done. And I'm very thankful for the work that you've done. And so is Hertford County, and so is Ghana, and where would we be, if you didn't step out on faith? Where would we be if you wasn't who you are, building those water wells? You've helped so many people. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you up here, because people need to know who's around them. People need to know the heroes that's sacrificing and making a difference to make life easy for some people. And they need to be appreciated. Okay. And so that's one of the reasons why I brought you up here, to say thank you and to give you your flowers right now. So once again,
Appreciate it, bro.
I appreciate you being with me. We was up here for an hour and a half tonight. So I appreciate you being with me, sharing knowledge to everybody. Do you have anything that you want to close out with?
No, man. Man, look inside yourself to know who you are, and also take your DNA test. All of us must take, and don't use what's the DNA test? You want to use African ancestral DNA test. Don't use the regular DNA test everybody uses. Ancestral, whatever it is, use African ancestral DNA test. It's going to test you to your exact tribe that you come from. So I
Okay.
know the exact tribe on my father's side, exactly where we came from, which tribe, what area in Africa they come from. So, like, if you really want to know where you come from, take the African ancestral DNA test, and you'll find out what tribe in particular your family comes from. And that's it, man, because we need to know who we are. We need to know who we are. And that's it, man. I appreciate you, brother Kevin. Keep up the good work, man. Well, you shining, man. You shining bright. I tell you, I was actually checking out your other interviews too, man. You shining bright, brother. Keep it up, man. I think this is gonna be very good for you, as long as you stay consistent, brother. I think it's gonna really pop, man.
Man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you being with us. And thank the listeners for watching Everything's Everything with Calvin Baldwin. And we're going to catch you And what was that slogan that you said? You said always look forward, never.
Always forward, never backwards. Kwame Nkrumah, which was the first president of Ghana, coined that statement. Kwame Nkrumah, he was the first president of Ghana. He says, always forward, never backwards.
And just like that, we're gonna call it a wrap. Thanks everyone for coming out. Always forward, never back. Everything's everything. Thank you.